Business news tonight.
An executive bill seeking to amend the National Identity Management Commission Act is set to be forwarded by President Bola Tinubu to the National Assembly. The bill seeks to provide that everybody living in Nigeria, including foreigners, must be registered and given the national identity number so that they can be taxed. The Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, disclosed this while briefing State House correspondents at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, alongside the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Digital Strategy, Engagement and Communications, Otega Ogra. Ononuga said the economic stabilization bills, which are about 20 in number, also includes bills to amend the Act establishing the Nigerian Port Authority and the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. According to him, the two bills seek to ensure transactions by the two agencies are paid for in Naira. He said the decision is part of measures by Tinubu's administration to promote the national currency and reduce the dollarization of Nigeria's economy. This is part of the economic stabilization bills approved during the Federal Executive Council meeting. Data shows that Africa loses $88.6 billion to illicit financial flows annually. Oftentimes, these money laundering and financing of terrorism are increasing in sophistication, inherently transnational, linked to organized crime, posing threat to consumers, businesses, as well as governments.
Money laundering and terrorist financing pose considerable threats to global peace and security, as well as destabilizing political and financial systems.
Understanding the trends and patterns and the process of legitimizing proceeds of crime to disguise illicit origins is why these people from organized private sectors and business community are here.
People commit crime through corruption, through stealing, through theft, through drugs, and finding all kinds of means to launder the proceeds of this crime. And sometimes they go to the business owners. They can go to, for instance, insurance company and put money as a policy. When they find out that nobody is looking into that, they take their money back. Sometimes they can put it in the capital markets as investments or as buying stocks or buying shares after they pull their money back. They can put it in business, small businesses to support the businesses. We call this co-mingling. That means there's a legitimate business going on. Money launderer invests his money in it. After he found out the coast is clear, he gets his money back.
Experts advocate due diligence and acceptable standards that can be adopted to mitigate this menace.
Individual and corporate entity must ensure they carry out a risk assessment of their environment, where they operate and what they do.
One thing is to identify the vulnerability. Then two is to put measures. One of the measures we are putting is to automate the transaction of our members, putting automation into place, taking into consideration recording of transaction, and then know your customer, customer due diligence, and then complying with rendition of returns to Central Bank of Nigeria.
We have what we call trade groups. We have occasional meetings with the leaderships of the trade groups where we send out messages that they send out to their members. And also we have quarterly council meetings and what we call General Assembly.
We've seen that there are some level of effectiveness. It is not where it ought to be. So you'll find those gaps, and that is why Nigeria, you will hear that they say Nigeria is on what they call grey list, which is the ICRG. We call it International Cooperation Review Group. That means the country must improve on those identified gaps. Those gaps are identified in the report. It is published, and Nigeria is working towards addressing those gaps.
The grey listing of Nigeria and inclusion on a high-risk jurisdiction for anti-money laundering is a concern. Hopefully, this seminar by Giaba will help participants identify, adopt strategies and technologies, as well as promote well-regulated financing systems and services that will tackle money laundering and terrorist financing in Nigeria. Joshua Murakinyo, LTV News, Lagos.